Back at it again today. We're doing another ad review. This is the Mugler Angel Elixir perfume. No, this is a film starring Hunter Schafer. Sorry, my voice sounds so stupid. Um, this ad campaign did come out like over a year ago, I believe. So I'm basically like pretty late, but I'm basically gonna review anything I want. So also, another thing, I heard or I saw a post claiming that Casey Caldweller is stepping down from Mugler. Does anybody know if that's actually true? And not to act like I'm celebrating or anything, because he definitely had his big moments at Mugler. But if that is true, that he's stepping down from Mugler, he is stepping down. I'm searching it up on my phone right now. Guys, I think it is true. He's stepping down. Mugler, hire me. Like, no funny like, actually, no funny shit. Mugler, hire me. Literally, Meredith. Pick me. Choose me. No, that's crazy. Wow. Honestly, I kind of feel bad because you could definitely. I mean, it seemed like his heart and spirit was definitely in trying to, really revamp, not necessarily revamp, but just really prolong the spirit of Mugler. But some of his collections are really just like, they're not terrible, but it is a bit lackluster, and in my personal opinion, I'm never going to say, like, "Oh, it's his fault," because even when you're the creative director of a fashion house, there are still people behind the scenes who tell you what to do, like, you have your own bosses. Like, I remember watching a video about the history of Tom Ford at Gucci, and even with all the great things that he did, it was still a couple years up until he really got to, like, fully have his own say, and again, this is Tom Ford at Gucci. So, sometimes you can't really chalk it up to, like, the creative director is making all the, or has all the say, and that, like, sometimes they really do have their own bosses who also tell them what to do. So, who really knows what may have gone on behind the scenes between Mr. Caldweller and Mugler, but damn, it's kind of crazy. Honestly, like, again, like, actually, Mugler, hire me. Like, I low key, this actually, I really want to work within Mugler. I remember even when knowing about like Gucci and Chanel and Louis Vuitton, I think Mugler was like the very first fashion house that I actually like cared about. Like, actually, I was like just obsessed with, honestly. And I know so many people, kind of like with Chanel, a lot of people look to their collection, their haute couture collections from like the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that, and they view that as like their heyday. But I just feel like if really given the room to operate, somebody who has the true vision can take some notes from all the Mugler collections of the past, even the haute couture ones, and streamline that into something that is still innovative and fun and with a modern take on it. And like, again, maybe Casey Caldweller wasn't really given the room to do that, but I also just feel like the collections that he put out were kind of like, they just weren't great. Like, it's not terrible. Like, obviously, some of his first collection, not the first ones actually. A lot of people think that that bodysuit that he made was like his first thing at Mugler. I've watched his actual first collections at Mugler, and they're not super great. But I mean, it's like your first, second collection. Nobody's expecting it to be like amazing. But the bodysuit, like that paneled bodysuit, that was what really took off. And in my personal opinion, and this is not like shade to Casey Caldweller, it's kind of just like stating a fact. I think those bodysuits would have been popular regardless, but I also believe that without the influx of celebrities, especially like Cardi B wearing like archival Mugler, I don't think he would have taken off so fast. And again, like I said, that's not an insult. That's literally just like stating a fact. Everybody was talking about um Cardi B wearing Mugler. Like, that's what everybody was talking about. And then Beyonce had it on the cover of a magazine. She had the panel bodysuit on the cover of a magazine. Like, all of these things kind of just by chance worked in Casey's favor. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting lucky. And like I said, I really think those paneled bodysuits would have taken off regardless. Um, but I just think the things after that, I just feel like it was like watching the same collection over and over again. And yeah. So I don't know, maybe Casey Caldwell will land somewhere else. I mean, the fashion industry basically rotates the same 7 different white dudes to be creative directors. So I mean, he'll probably land somewhere else. But Mugler, if your team is looking for designers, cough cough. I may know somebody. Hashtag me. But yeah. So that's wow, it's kind of crazy. I wonder how, especially with some of the things that are happening with the French economy. I wonder how some of these fashion houses will deal. Not that I actually give a shit about the French economy, be fucking serious. But anyway, let's actually get into the video. Again, Mugler, Angel Elixir Perfume, the film starring Hunter Schafer. And again, yes, this did come out a year ago, but I'm still going to show it now and I'm going to review it now. So let's get into it. Thank God it's Friday. Purple and yellow Missy. I need my answers to miss me. Remember the day they would dance me. I know they hit it up, got it up. When they go get it up, got it. Yeah, I'm about to do it big. Stripes, limousine. I'm a dreamer. Step, I'm a dreamer. Angel in the dreamer.
Angel Elixir, the new eau de parfum. Mugler.
All right. I didn't hate that. Like, I've seen this ad before and I don't hate it. I just feel like the entirety of it doesn't fit. Like, let me put it this way. The entirety of the ad is not terrible whatsoever, but for what they're selling, I feel like it does not make sense. Now, at the end of the day, Mugler as a fashion house, Mr. Thierry Mugler, rest in peace, he has talked about how his fashion house is about elevating the dangerous femininity of women. I believe there's an article where he literally says that he believes in dressing women into being dangerous, like glamazons. So I definitely see how that fits. Like, this whole thing fits the aesthetic of Mugler. I feel like, actually, like, the main thing, not the main thing, but one thing I want to say, I feel like this dark aesthetic that Mugler has been using, and by Mugler I mean Casey Caldweller, I feel like it's overdone. I feel like it's overplayed. I feel like it needs to be put to bed. My favorite color is black, and yet I am tired of seeing all the black in Mugler. Like, I am tired of it. Mugler has such a vast category, has such a vast catalog. There's no reason that there's not enough color on a Mugler runway. And now I feel like that's also translating into their ads, just like this one. And again, the ad is not bad. It's not bad whatsoever. It's very well done. It's very good. Obviously, it's done by a team of professionals. But I feel like it's so on the nose for what Mugler is doing that it would not stand out in like the general market. And I know this is Hunter Schafer, this is Mugler. Many people were obviously tuned into this, so let me not say like, oh, nobody cared about this. That's not true. But I just feel like this is Mugler when they're trying to have an obvious continuation of a resurgence. I feel like these kinds of ads could have been a pinnacle point of that, if you will. But because it's just like, oh, this is something we've already seen before from Mugler, so it's like whatever. I feel like that's the general attitude that people will have towards it. And let's just again go through it here. The first or the starting point of the film, let me also turn off the volume so you can hear me talking. Like, the starting point here, it's nothing wrong with it, like nothing bad at all. Hunter Schafer again, very pretty, very gorgeous. Like, this ad is not bad whatsoever. And obviously there's this idea that she transcends from this amazing, beautiful model to almost like a starlet, if you will. And quite literally a starlet, since she's interacting with like this comet here. And then you literally see here how she's hanging on, eventually lets go, and then literally collides with this comet to transcend into an angel. And before I continue on, let me just mention the music here. Like, let's listen to this music. Let's continue with this music here. I am all for on the nose marketing or on the nose gimmicks or anything like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would not put this song in this kind of ad though. Like, again, the song is not bad. I see how it really fits this like dangerous femme aesthetic, and you literally hear the lyrics, I'm an angel in the atmosphere. I just feel like, again, the song for this ad, like the background music, I just feel like it's so typical in a way that makes it not interesting. That makes it boring. It's just like, okay, like, yeah, I get that. Like, ugh, I don't want to sound like I'm really trashing it because, like I said, this is not a bad ad campaign whatsoever. It's not bad. It's just like I feel like the creative output for Mugler could be so much bigger than this. And continuing on, I feel like, again, there's nothing wrong with advertising in a way that circumvents expectations, and there's nothing wrong with advertising on the nose. I feel like, in my personal opinion, if I was the creative lead behind this campaign, I would wholeheartedly go into the angel like theme. I wouldn't make it so that it's, like who had um that perfume. I think it's Ariana Grande. She had that cloud perfume. So again, very on the nose marketing. Correct me if I'm wrong if it's not Ariana Grande, but there's some celebrity who has their own perfume line, and the perfume bottle is in the shape of a cloud, I believe. So some of their advertising, features clouds, features the sky, dives into that angel like atmosphere. I feel like personally, I would have done the same thing here, but I would have just added that sharp, dangerous femme edge for that is like prevalent within Mugler. I feel like the whole ad, it just like, this is gonna sound really harsh, but it just kind of reeks of what Mugler runways are like, which is taking like the general idea of a campaign, or taking the general idea of what they're trying to pull off, and then surrounding it with extra production, like surrounding it with over the top production, so that you don't notice that, oh wait, this is kind of lackluster. Like, what are they really showing me here? Like, this part here, like, from it's very good editing. Like, don't get me wrong, it's obviously very good editing. This is done by professionals. But this part here where you show her eye going into the earth, I just feel like that is so unnecessary. Like, it's not bad. Like, again, don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's so unnecessary. Like, it's just very much like iMovie 2013 middle school esque. You know what I mean? And obviously, that's not like somebody on iMovie probably can't pull that off. Maybe, I don't know. But it's just, I feel like this ad campaign could have been so much more. And if we're being honest, well, I am being honest, but I feel like, again, I would have gone just all in to the angel aesthetic, but again, adding this like dangerous flair to it. I think when I do these videos, when I'm talking about how I would do it, I think I'm going to try to provide some kind of like visual aid or something, like just to really show you how I would do an ad campaign. But I mean, I don't have like the full production capabilities to bring it to life as much as I wish I did. But I just feel like this is so it's just so on the nose for Mugler that it's like, oh, that's not really interesting. And this part here, again, Hunter Schafer, very beautiful, very gorgeous. You see how she transforms, like she's transforming into this almost extraterrestrial being. And this is, I believe, this outfit here, I think, is actually an archival Mugler piece. Correct me if I'm wrong. And again, it's not bad. It's not bad whatsoever. But this is like the title, the name of the perfume is Angel Elixir. I would have shown something that dipped more into like this elixir part here. If you don't know what an elixir is, it's basically like another name for a potion or for a liquid. Like, I would have shown something that had to do with, showing the elixir being made, and we're talking about angels here, and yet I haven't seen a single wing. Like, I haven't seen a single pair of wings whatsoever. And I know, again, that's like, oh, that's super on the nose because obviously angels. But I mean, yeah, that would have made it look interesting. Like, if you were to show me this ad campaign and you were like, oh, and you were, come on, English. If you were to show me this ad campaign and you told me, oh, our conception spot was angels, I would have been like, how? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, angel where? Like, what the fuck does this have to do with angels or elixirs? Like, I feel like I did a video on the Mugler Alien Hyper Intense perfume that had Anuk Yoy as the center of their campaign, and I feel like this frame right here, like literally this frame, this fits more within that concept of alien, hyper intense, really transcending like humanity into this extraterrestrial form. Like this frame, this singular frame of Hunter Schafer, I feel like fits that idea more than what was in Anuk Yoi's campaign. And it definitely fits it more than it fits this angel concept. So I just feel like I would have dug a little deeper into, showing angels, showing maybe angels even making batches of this elixir. Like I would have it would have been a little bit more on the nose. And of course, let me not act like I'm the greatest creative mind out there, because that's definitely not true as much as I wish it were. But I don't know, I just feel like there could have been a number of better ideas to showcase, you know, like what this ad campaign is about, which is obviously the Mugler Angel Elixir perfume. I just feel like this is not like this is not. I don't want to say this is not creative because again, I don't want to insult the professionals behind this, but it's just like if we really wanted something that stood out for Mugler, I feel like there's something that could have been done a lot better. Like obviously, you're probably not going to satisfy every mind behind this, but I just feel like this could have been done a lot better. And this moment here, like that reverse moment, like what was that? Like that just felt very off. Like I mean, I get how this leans into the dangerous femme edge that Mugler has always presented, but I just feel like there's a lot more that could be done in terms of showcasing a different I think like in showcasing the different creative muscles of the House of Mugler. I just feel like these ads and the runways don't really do that. And again, it's not to insult Casey Caldwell, that's not to insult the professionals behind this. I just feel like, it's a good idea, but there's definitely a better execution out there. So I think I'm gonna end it off here. I'm gonna give this ad. It's again very well done, very beautiful. Hunter Schafer is gorgeous. I'm gonna give this ad like honestly a 7.5 out of 10. A bit generous on my end, but like I said, it's not a bad ad. It's not terrible whatsoever. It's just there's a better execution out there. Um, if you listen the whole way through, good for you, honestly, because this low key was just a little bit of me rambling. I don't really like making scripts for videos. I just feel like I don't know, that kind of takes me out of just saying what I want to say. So yeah, it's mainly just me talking, and I will admit that this video was just a bit of rambling, but hopefully my next one is a bit more organized. All right, bye.